bring more or is equally as important of experience as legal experience would be. Another thing that judges need to do is have respect. And I don't mean the Aretha Franklin RSPECT respect. I mean, in order to get respect, you've got to give respect. And I feel like I've led my life, either before and after I started in my legal career, trying to garner the respect of people around me. And I feel that through the years, through these 25 years, that I've accomplished that. Or at least I hope I have. I think I get respect from my clients. I get respect from my peers and my friends and my colleagues. So that respect has a lot to do with it. We need to have the knowledge of the law. I don't know everything about the law. Don't claim to, but we know where to find it if we have to. But with the knowledge of the law, you still got to apply that law to the situations and to the facts of a case, and then use some common sense to come up with an answer at that time. One of the big things I think that judges need to have, and I do this every morning, is to pray that at some point, pray to God that at some point I'll be able to touch somebody's life in a positive way. And I pray also that, as Solomon did, for wisdom in what I do, and hopefully with these attributes or these qualities that I've talked about, you'll feel like that, or know that with my experience that I would be the person for the job, and I respectfully request your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Our next speaker, candidate for General Sessions Judge, is Amy Schisler.
Thank you. I'm Amy Chisler, and he said it's Schisler, but it's Chisler. And I am asking for your vote as General Sessions Judge because I'm tired, as you are, in the community, of the revolving door when it comes to drug offenses, burglaries, and everything in this county. This county needs mental health treatment as a condition of probation. This county needs drug rehab as a condition of probation. Folks need to know that even though that they are finding themselves where they are, that they do not have to stay in that state of mind. No one at 12 years old says, I'm going to grow up and be a drug addict that breaks into people's houses and steals. Somewhere between that 12-year-old optimistic child and that adult is a trauma or an event that occurs where these folks need to be helped. And we can get that help through grants at no cost to the taxpayers. There are grants available for these mental health treatments and for the drug rehab. And if they don't do that drug rehab or mental health conditions, then I'm going to put them in jail, because I love the community too. I love the offender, but you also have to love the community enough to make sure that they are held accountable. Also, a lot of people forget that General Sessions Judge is also the juvenile judge. And in this county, unlike other counties, there's no termination of parental rights being held because the current judge does not do that part of the position. I plan on doing that so the children in foster care can reach permanency faster than having to wait for a chancery court judge to hear those cases. There's no reason that the termination of parental rights hearings cannot be held in the juvenile court, as it should be, as in every other county. And it's just a disgrace for our children that are in foster care to be left there in perpetual waiting on a chancery court judge. That's just not fair. And also, you know, I'm running for judge so I can make a positive impact on other people's lives. My son passed away 4.5 years ago. His name was Tanner Ray, and one of his lines in his graduation speech is that's what he wanted to do. And at 50 years old, I thought I can do more and I should do more, and that's why I'm running for judge. I want to help people. I want to hold people accountable. I'm going to help you. I'm going to love you, and I'm going to give hope to this community so that the revolving door just stops. I'd appreciate your vote on August 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schisler. We have two candidates who are running unopposed for countywide office. Kylie Weathers is not with us tonight. We understand that he is at a watch party. He is watching what's going on from a safe distance this evening. We also have the candidate for circuit court clerk running unopposed, known by pretty much everyone in the county, Mr. Tommy Lee Kidd. Mr. Kidd, if you would come forward, you have 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Tommy Lee Kidd. I am running for Lawrence County Circuit Court Clerk. I'm a 1986 graduate of Summertown High School. My dad and mom are Tony and Ricky Kidd. They live in Summertown. My father-in-law is C.M. Robbins. He's from Leoma. And the late Sue Robbins is my mother-in-law. She is also from Leoma. My wife is Lisa of Lisa and Company. My daughter is Abigail, as Mr. Bill said, of Abigail's Plan. And Abigail's Plan is a nonprofit organization that advocates for people with special needs. God allowed me to work at a computer company for the last 30 plus years, and in those travels around the state of Tennessee, I landed in a lot of court offices, helping those offices to transition from pen and paper over to the computer system. Experience is one of those things that we look for someone in office, and over 30 years of experience working with the court systems has allowed me to gain knowledge of the office and how the office runs. My family and I are passionate about serving the people of Lawrence County in the capacity that we've been with Abigail's Plan, and we plan to continue that passion as we serve as Lawrence County Circuit Court Clerk. So I would appreciate your vote on August the 4th for Circuit Court Clerk, and we just love serving the people of Lawrence County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kidd. In just a moment, we will be hearing from additional candidates. First, let's take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story & Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story & Lee. We are carrying Broil King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but you know the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the Green Egg Grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story & Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Stryker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Stryker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Stryker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renwright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renwright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renwright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Surf the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, A word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
And welcome back to the Reserve and Lawrence County's 2022 election forum. Our next speaker is Mr. Ryan Crick, who is running for road superintendent. It is worth noting that his opponent, Mr. Neely Luna, was invited to speak this evening. He has declined to participate in our forum this evening. At this time, we'll call on Ryan Crick. If you would please come forward. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. I'm Ryan Crick, and I'm running for road superintendent on August the 4th. I've got 25 years experience in road construction and road maintenance. Have 14 years in management with the County Highway Department. I understand the mountains that face our county today and our work. I don't play political party very well. I don't make promises that I can't keep. I'll tell you the things you need to hear instead of the things you want to hear. I'll tell you things like we have 1,036 miles of county roads that we maintain, and those roads are voted on and approved by a county commission each year. We do not upkeep a city street in Etheridge. We do not upkeep Lawrenceburg, Loretta, or St. Joe city streets. We do not upkeep any state route that runs across our county. That is not our job. We will always help our cities if they need us. We've always done that. We will continue to do that because we need their help at times too. Now, I'm running for this. I'm asking for your vote tonight because I've been a part of an administration that's brought us way forwards over the years. I knew where we was years ago. We're better today than we was 24 years ago. We're better today than we were 10 years ago. We're moving forward every day, and I will continue to do that under my administration. I will never take a step backwards. We will have to clean our county up 2 to 3 times a year due to Mother Nature. That is a fact of life, and we must be monetarily prepared to do so. We will always work with a balanced budget. We will work with our budget director, our county executive, and our county commission to get us a road program in place to move our county forward. That is what's needed. The state of Tennessee can't give out all the funds to 95 counties to improve us. We have to invest in ourselves. That's what we're going to work for. I will always make my decision from the middle of the road. I'm asking for your vote, Lawrence County, on August the 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crick. Our next candidates are for Register of Deeds. Again, we will be having our candidates in alphabetical order. Ms. Terry Dickey and Jim Looney. Ms. Dickey, if you would care to step forward, you may have the forum for the next 3 minutes.
My name is Tara Dickey, and I'm running for re-election for the office of Register of Deeds. I have worked in the office for 23 years, be 24 years in September. I started in 1998 as a part-time employee. I became full-time in 2000. I worked with Teresa Duncan all those years. She taught me everything there is to know about the office, and when she passed away in 2019, I was then appointed by the commission to become Register of Deeds. I ran in the 2020 general election, and that was to fill out her term, and so now I'm running for re-election. A few things that I'm very proud of that we've done in the office over the last few years. We have digitalized all of our deed books. Those books date back to 1819. We will still keep the books in our office, but this is added protection if something did happen to those books or to our building, that we would have backup of those images. It also gives us better access. We learned during COVID that access to our documents is very important. So those will be available hopefully very soon on our computer system, that you can look them up online. Right now they are available on our computers in the office, and they are accessible to be able to email to the public and to anyone who needs them for their research or for their searches. We also have implemented a new property fraud alert system. That is a growing crime in Tennessee, is property fraud, and that's something that we have not seen in Lawrence County, and so we're trying to be proactive about that and try to stop that before it could come here. What that does is you will get an alert. You can sign up on our Lawrence County website. You sign up, you will get an initial email. All you have to have is an email address. You'll get an alert if something is recorded in your name in our office. So we, like I say, have not seen any of this happening. If you have any questions, please call our office and we will be able to help you walk through that process. We do run a great office. I'm very proud of the office that we have. We're very efficient, friendly. My staff and I feel like we do a great job, and I'd love to keep my experience working for you. Again, I'm Tara Dickey and I'm running for re-election for Register of Deeds. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Dickey. And now her opponent, Mr. Jim Looney.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Looney, and I'm the Republican nominee for Register of Deeds. I am a lifelong Lawrence Countyan, a 8th generation Tennessean, and proud to say that my mother actually worked in that office, the Register of Deeds, in the 1970s. She was a chief deputy. I spent a lot of time there as a child, and I know things have changed quite a bit, but I still remember the basics. Like she was talking about the big books. That's some neat history in there, and I really love the history of Lawrence County. In the 1990s, I went to work for Tennessee Stamping as the only quality control engineer that they had, and I learned a lot about blueprints and special components for shock absorbers. That doesn't have anything to do with that office except for the fact quality. We had quality. Then since 1996, 26 and a half years ago, I've been an employee of Lawrenceburg Utility Systems. I've been in customer service. I have experience in mapping, a lot of mapping experience. The customer service is a job I do every day. Last year, I personally waited on over 40,000 people with a 99.9999 percentile average, which I'm proud to say is not bad. I also would like to touch tonight on just a little bit of politics. I know that you usually don't like to bring politics into this, but the fact of the matter is I've been able to do some big things in the nation. And national leadership is big as well as local leadership. I've been a state executive committee man for the past 3 terms. I've been a Republican presidential delegate 5 times. And in 2020, I was hired by the Trump campaign, one of 10 of us, to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin as an election fraud expert. That, as well as the leadership I have from Lawrenceburg Utility Systems and all my life journey, equals 35 plus years of customer service. And I feel as though my local, state, and national leadership would be good for the office to take it to the next level. I believe that with a lot of hard work, the Register of Deeds office in Lawrenceburg can be the top Register of Deeds in the state of Tennessee, and that's my goal. And I ask every one of you this evening to please vote for me, Jim Looney. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Looney. Coming up next, we will be hearing from our county clerk candidates, but first, let's take this quick timeout. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story and Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story and Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but you know the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the Green Egg Grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free. Free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story and Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Stryker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Stryker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Stryker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Ren Right Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Ren Right is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Ren Right Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Serve the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
Welcome back to the Reserve in Lawrence County, Tennessee, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee on the square. Once again, we would like to thank our sponsors for making this event possible this evening. Next up will be our candidates for county clerk. We have 4 candidates running: Mr. Russ Brewer, Ms. Beverly McDowell, Mr. Nick Moore, and Tanya Roper. In alphabetical order, Mr. Brewer, you have 3 minutes to address the forum.
Hello, I'm Russ Brewer. I'm your Republican candidate for Lawrence County Clerk. I was born and raised here in Lawrenceburg. I'm the son of Barbara Brewer, and my father was the late Chuck Brewer. I have 2 wonderful children. My daughter is Ivy Brewer. She's a speech pathologist at Davy Crockett Elementary School, and my son Whit Brewer is an airman in the United States Air Force, and I ask that you keep him in your prayers as he is currently on his first deployment. I manage U-Save car and truck rental, and I've served on the county commission for the last 8 years. I'm a past president of the Lawrenceburg Kiwanis Club, and I've served on various boards and civic organizations throughout the county. I'm also a graduate of Leadership Lawrence County. I'd say it's been close to 3 years now when I was in the clerk's office, and Chuck approached me with the idea of running for county clerk. So I told him I'd have to think about it, and that's what I did. I went home and thought, well, what qualifies me to serve as county clerk? Well, I've been in customer service my entire life. I've worked with the public throughout my entire career, and if elected, That is what I'm going to do, is to continue to provide courteous and respectful service to everyone in Lawrence County. We're all going to go to the clerk's office at some point in time, whether it be for tag renewals, marriage license, passport information, whatever the case may be. My promise is to greet you with a smile. When you're standing across that counter from me, I won't see you as a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. I'll see you as a Lawrence County citizen just like me and provide you with the service that we all deserve. I'd like to thank WLX for hosting this event. Once again, I'm Russ Brewer, and I hope I can earn your vote. Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Mr. Brewer. Our next candidate, Ms. Beverly McDowell.
Good evening. I am Beverly McDowell, and I'm an independent candidate for the office of County Clerk. For those of you that don't know me, my husband Terry, better known to most as Red, lived near 5 Points, as well as our sons and their families. Terry's a lifelong resident of Lawrence County, and I was born in Weathers Hospital in Loretta and have lived in Lawrence County for almost 40 years. So in fact, I feel as though I'm a lifelong resident. We've been blessed to make Lawrence County our home and raise our family here. When Chuck came and talked to me about running for the office, my first reaction was, I can't do this, because this is not my strong suit. Making public speeches and, meeting people has been wonderful, but making public speeches is not my strong suit. But the more I thought about it, I thought no one is more qualified for this office than I am. I have been working in the clerk's office since August of '94. And through these almost 28 years, I've worked to learn every application process in the office, from motor vehicle renewals and titles to marriages, notary public, business license, county beer permits, passports, and pawnbroker's license. I was promoted to chief deputy bookkeeper in 2001, and for 21 years I have worked in the administrative end of the office. In this position, I do everything from payroll and budgets, inventory, to negotiating vendor contracts, as well as working with state auditors to make sure the office stays in compliance with all guidelines and regulations. I work closely with the County Commission and Beer Board in maintaining all resolutions, minutes, and records for these boards. Last year, our office took in over $6.4 million, and every receipt has to be balanced and paid out within a specified time period. I take great pride in the fact that my balance have balanced to the penny every month. And I work very hard to spend the taxpayers' money in the running of the office responsibly and conservatively and staying within budget. And in closing, I'd just like to let you know that no one in this race can surpass my level of knowledge and experience in the office. And I would humbly ask for your vote in the early voting and the August 4th election. Let me step forward and be your next county clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McDowell. Our next candidate for county clerk is Mr. Nick Moore. Mr. Moore.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nick Moore. I am running for county clerk. My wife and I, Brandy, we have 3 beautiful children, Bailey, Laney, and Miles, and 1 granddaughter, Chamberlain Sinclair, which is not with us this week, but she will be with us soon and probably would be in here wide open if she were here. I am a graduate of Loretta High School, 1997, and also graduated Columbia State with honors. I work in the school system here in Lawrence County, and I was at E.O. Kaufman for numerous years, and now I'm currently at Loretta High School. I look at the county clerk's office as an office to where your political party and affiliation should really have 0 ties. The clerk's office makes no rules, laws, or regulations. It is a servant to the community, a servant to the county, and to all Lawrence Countyans, no matter what. The clerk's office has been run for over 40 years by 2 gentlemen who had 0 prior service beforehand. Mr. Weathers was a school teacher, and Mr. Kaiser was an auto mechanic. With that said, if I am elected to your county clerk, I do feel comfortable knowing that I can come in, deal with the community, deal with the people, get the ladies in there all riled up where we can have a real good time and making a fun family environment there in the county clerk's office. I do believe that there should be an agenda for the next county clerk coming in. There's a foundation that's been laid by the past two county clerks that's very hard to beat. But I do believe there's things we can do to move forward. I do believe that the county would benefit if we could move an office to either side of the county, north and south. What that does, it alleviates traffic in the main office and make life a little easier for those on the south and the north for travel. That's a long way to get there. In closing, I would like to say thank you. I would appreciate your vote. Early voting's July 15th. My name's Nick Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Our final candidate for county clerk is Tanya Roper. Ms. Roper, you have 3 minutes to address the community.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Roper. I'm running for county clerk as an independent candidate. I've lived my whole life in Lawrence County. I was born and raised in Summertown. In my last 26 years, I married Talmadge Roper and have been living in Loretta. We have 4 sons and 7 grandchildren. I think that the most important thing in the county clerk's office is experience. I have 30 years experience on the counter helping the customers, and I think that's a very important job. We have lots of issues that come in, and you need to know how to handle these issues to be able to help our customers that don't know what to do. Sometimes there may be problems that we cannot take care of without getting further things from car dealers or stuff, but we do our best, and we do know different people to call and help our customers to get these problems solved. We have a good group of girls on the counter now, very friendly girls that are willing to help everybody in there. Like I say, my name's Tanya Roper, and I'm an independent candidate for county clerk, and I'd appreciate your vote on August 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Roper. Repeating what I was saying a little bit before, even though the federal and state elections grab the media, it is these folks that are going to set the policies that are going to affect public safety, they're going to affect education, they're going to affect the quality of services that we receive from the courthouse and other levels of county government. So this general election is very important. It will actually affect us in this room and throughout our county. It will affect the folks here in the county even more than what you might expect from the federal and the state level elections. By the way, I am basically a volunteer here tonight, and my pay is I get to advertise a little bit for the Middle Tennessee District Fair that is coming up in September. The fair this year is going to be a 9-day event, and that means we're going to be able to bring back the ATV and motocross racing. We also have a new event coming in. The Midget Wrestling Warriors will be with us on Wednesday night. In addition to that, we will have your old favorites, the Junk Car Jump and Run, the Demolition Derby, their truck and tractor pulls. Our top name entertainer this year is Granger Smith, and tickets for the Granger Smith concert will be going on sale online on August the 5th, and then we'll have our customer service desk open the Tuesday after Labor Day. So it's going to be a great fair. It's going to be a big fair, 9 days. We're going to be worn out by the time it's over, but we're looking forward to it. We hope you'll join us at the Middle Tennessee District Fair at Lawrenceburg Rotary Park, September 23rd through October 1st of this coming year. We'll be back with our sheriff's candidates right after this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story and Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type of grills we are carrying this year at Story and Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here. Then you have hickory, or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but you know, the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the green egg grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story and Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Striker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Striker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Striker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bombcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Serve the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495. Inflation, a word we have heard too.
Hi, this is Clint Alley with your local history timeout. In this timeout, we're going to have a look at women's suffrage. Did you know that Lawrenceburg gave women the right to vote more than a year before the passage of the 19th Amendment? Lawrenceburg gave women the right to vote in municipal elections more than a year before the passage of the 19th Amendment, and that included all eligible women, both black and white. In 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified by one vote in the Tennessee legislature, giving women the right to vote nationwide. But the women of Lawrenceburg won the right to vote in municipal elections more than a year before the passage of the 19th Amendment. The first time women voted in Lawrenceburg was on May 13, 1919. Mrs. C.T. Crawford was the first woman to arrive at the polls soon after they opened that morning, followed shortly thereafter by Docia Spann. The Lawrence Democrat reports that 161 women participated in that first mixed-sex municipal election in 1919. This number included several black women whom it says were allowed to vote the same as the men. This has been your local history timeout. For more about Lawrence County history, check out my book, Lawrence County History Trivia, available at the law offices of White & Betts on the square in Lawrenceburg, at New Moon Antiques on the square in Lawrenceburg, and on Amazon.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story & Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story & Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here. Then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the green egg grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free. Free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story and Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Striker Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Striker Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Striker Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renwright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renwright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renwright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Surf the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
Hello folks, we're here at Story and Lee and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story and Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the green egg grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free. Free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story and Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Stryker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Stryker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Stryker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Surf the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
Welcome back to the reserve and the Lawrence County 22 election forum. One of our candidates did have an engagement and he has just pulled in. That is the reason for the delay. We are now ready to begin with our question and answer session. Our three candidates for sheriff this evening are Rick Osborne, Gary Mills, and the incumbent sheriff John Myers. Tonight's questions were submitted to each candidate in advance. They have seen these questions before. Each candidate will have 90 seconds to make an opening statement, and then we'll have 1 minute to answer each question. If a candidate chooses to reference his opponent or policies by name during an answer, the opponent will be given 30 seconds to make a rebuttal. This evening's speaking order was determined by random order at the beginning of the session. Our first speaker for opening statement will be the incumbent Sheriff John Myers, followed by challenger Mr. Rick Osborne, and challenger, Gary Mills. Sheriff Myers, you have 90 seconds to make an opening statement. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Bill. And I want to first say thank you to WLX. Thank you, Ben and Charlotte and everybody that was involved in this. I know it took a lot of preparation to get this thing started, and it's always a good thing anytime that we can come out and talk to the public and they can put their eyes on us. It's a good thing, so you don't even have to ask me. Just pencil me in and tell me what time to be here, and I'll clear my schedule so we can be here. I was walking in with my daughter, and it's hard for me to grasp that it's been 4 years since we was doing something like this. It just doesn't seem like it's been, 4 years. It seems more like maybe a couple. They say time flies when you're having fun. I say time flies when you're busy. But anyway, I'm John Myers, and I'm the sitting sheriff of Lawrence County. Took office in 2018, and I hope that we have the time this evening to go over all the good things that we've done since we've been in office. I hope we have time to go into detail about the accomplishments and the tax dollars that we've saved, the wasteful spending that we uncovered, and I hope we get that across. And I hope that the people are settled on their candidate when we leave here this evening. Again, this is always a good thing. You can count on me to be here every time we have something like this, and I look forward to the questions.
Mr. Osborne.
Okay. Like John said, I appreciate the opportunity of being here. We appreciate what y'all have put in to put this together. I know it's time consuming, so I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for doing that as well. Appreciate you, Ben, and you guys for holding this up, allowing me to get here. It was tough, but we made it. My name is Rick Osborne, and I'm here tonight because we're going to seek the office for the sheriff's race. I feel like there's a drastic need for change in the Lawrence County, and we need some new leadership, from my opinion. 51 years old, guys. I'm a lifelong citizen of Lawrence County. I've been married for 22 years. We come from the Baptist faith. I finished high school in '89 here at Lawrence County High School. I've sought secondary education from that point on from Columbia State, where I spent time studying child psychology, on to Bethel University, where I finished my bachelor's in 2013 and my master's in 2017 as well. I'm a prior business owner. I know what it's like to run a business and carry out the functions of keeping a business afloat. So that's a pretty big deal I think I have to offer. I've also worked as the chief of police. My experience in law enforcement, guys, is from patrol, FTO supervision, criminal investigations, narcotics, and of course the chief of police as well. And now we're seeking to try to come to the sheriff's department and do something there. We appreciate you.
And Mr. Mills, you have 90 seconds to make an opening statement.
Once again, thank you guys for doing this. Gary Mills, longtime officer here in Lawrence County, 20 plus years. Most of that time spent at the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department working in patrol. Was a K-9 officer, incident commander, and worked narcotics for years. Currently, I'm a narcotics and criminal investigator at Laredo Police Department. Decided in January this year to run for sheriff after speaking with several of the officers and a lot of the citizens, talking to my family. I think there's time for a change. We need some help here at the Sheriff's Department. We need morale built back up. We've got a problem with retaining our officers, and we've got to step up and start doing that, or it's going to end up costing us a lot of money. We're having issues with our jail. A lot of these officers have come and talked to me. A lot of the officers that have left have come and talked to me. And we made a decision to run. So hopefully I can get your vote here in August, and we can make a change at the Sheriff's Department.
Okay, gentlemen, we will be asking a series of questions now. We will rotate the questions throughout the evening, and we will go in reverse order through the second half. The first question will go to Mr. Mills. What, in your opinion, is the #1 crime-related issue that needs immediate attention once you take office?
We've got a major drug epidemic here. Like I said, my time in narcotics has, we were one of the top narcotic units in the state. So when we were dealing with methamphetamine, the meth labs, cocaine, marijuana, well, now we've got heroin, fentanyl coming in. We've got a lot of issues we've got to tackle. I've seen the Sheriff's Department's ad in their paper of their stats of the drugs that they've done in 4 years. Folks, those stats don't even match up to our 1 year totals when we were working narcotics here. I have those stats, be glad to show any of you what we were doing and what we need to get back to doing.
Mr. Myers, your response, and you have 1 minute. Go ahead, sir.
That was a priority in 2018, and it's still a priority. Drugs is a source of 90% of our crime in this community. People that know me know that's my bread and butter. That's what I did prior to being chief of police in Etheridge and prior to being sheriff in 2018. Fact of the matter is, this administration that we have in the White House right now has turned its back on the southern border. And we're seeing more methamphetamine and more fentanyl coming into small town USA now more than ever. And this isn't just a problem that's in Lawrence County. This is a statewide problem, and I dare to say it's a nationwide problem. But you can be rest assured that we're doing everything that we know how to do to keep this stuff at bay. And I mean, it's always going to be a priority, and we're going to keep doing exactly what we're doing until we think we've made some headway.
And Mr. Osborne, your response.
I'm not exactly sure it's fair to pick just one. Theft is a huge problem right now, along with burglaries and domestic issues as well. Drugs is the one that gets the most attention. In the last couple of months, guys, I have been door to door, and I have spoken to thousands of our citizens here in Lawrence County, and they all want to know why we're not doing anything about the thefts and the drugs, and why we don't see deputies out in the county. And I mean, it's a big issue. For me, every crime needs equal attention, and each citizen of Lawrence County deserves to have their needs attended to. Every crime-related issue is important to the victim of the crime they find themselves a victim to. Under my administration, every citizen's needs will be addressed, every single one of them. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Department is supposed to be a full-service agency and not just a drug unit. I think it's kind of what we've tried to turn it into in the last 3 years, and we've forgotten to work the other things that's important. If elected sheriff of Lawrence County office, I will become a full-service agency again, including a strong narcotics unit.
Okay, our next question will go to Sheriff Myers. What impact do illegal drugs, including fentanyl, have in our community, and what steps do you plan to take to address that over the next 4 years?
Well, it's just following up on the last question. I mean, it's an issue that I take very seriously. You know, this ad that Mills brought up a little while ago, I mean, if you read that in its entirety, those are real-time numbers. And the reason they're real-time numbers is because each one of those amounts of methamphetamine and fentanyl and other drugs was researched through our department. And I mean, that's big. I mean, you talk about 12 and a half pounds of methamphetamine taken off our streets in the past 3 years and 10 months. No other sheriff that I can remember, and I've worked for 3 out of the last 4, so I can say this, has ever had such a proactive approach on drugs in this county. And we're going to continue to keep doing that.
Mr. Osborne.
Illegal drugs, they have a major impact on our society, and I like to point out some things we don't ever look at. Drugs affect our local businesses by lowering the quality of employees, for example, which makes it hard to hire good employees without lowering services standards. We need to look at that side of it. This also affects our local economy. Industries do check the area that they're thinking about bringing businesses into, guys, and they come in here and they see what we are and what we're doing, and they move on. Nobody wants to come to a drug-infested county and try to invest large businesses, for example. Every crime-related issue, I already spoke about it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mills, your response.
Well, the fentanyl is a big thing that's coming in. We first seen it when the heroin first started coming in. Both of those are new drugs to us. We started seeing the fentanyl coming in mixed in with the heroin. Now we're seeing fentanyl come in mixed in pill form, looking like pain pills where you can't tell the difference. We're also getting it mixed in with our methamphetamine. The impact it's having on our community is our overdose rate is up, our overdose death rate is up. That's one of the reasons we've pushed to try to build this drug unit back up. If we don't get a handle on this, then we're going to start burying more and more of these kids. We've got to start training. We've got to train our patrol officers how to deal with this, because in the past few months we've had several officers get fentanyl on them, and it's dangerous for them. So we've got to do more training and get everybody on the same page.
Thank you, gentlemen. Our next question will go to Mr. Osborne. Tragic school shootings across the nation have parents, school districts, and law enforcement agencies looking for ways to ensure their schools are always safe. What plans do you have when it comes to school safety? What policies would you enact, and why? Mr. Osborne.
School shootings are a very serious issue, guys, and one that I think that we don't put enough effort into changing, to be honest. Let me say this first and foremost. We have good SROs. I have no doubt that they would risk their own lives to save our kids. The question that always comes to mind when talking about this is, how can we expect one man in that building to cover 150 glass doors? I mean, that's just impossible to do. The deputies, much as we ask them to do in our school system, guys, you're asking them to complete an impossible task. We've got to do a better job of reaching out to our legislators, especially our school board, and see if we can't change the way we look at it. Maybe we can change the doors in the schools so we can lock the schools down, where we can roll over and start focusing more on educating the teachers and trying to identify problems to deal with the students at hand.
Mr. Mills, same question.
Well, one thing we've got to do is be more proactive. We've got to get our deputies to stop in at these schools, walk through, get used to the layout of the schools. When this first started years ago, we trained at the Sheriff's Department, but we trained as one unit of how to handle a school shooting. What we've got to do is we've got to start training with all the other agencies, not just law enforcement agencies, with Lawrenceburg PD, with Loretta, with Etheridge. We've got to get with EMS, we've got to get with fire, we've got to all get on the same page so we know what everybody's going to do here. So it boils down to training. Our SROs do a wonderful job, and they get that training, but we've got to step up, and we've got to train our department and train with other departments.
Sheriff Myers, your comments on school safety.
Pretty much everything Mills just said we're already doing. We're fortunate we have SROs in every public school in the county, and I'm glad our local government did that years ago and made that decision. I have a teenager in high school right now, so I realize the importance of it. It gives you peace of mind when you know that you have somebody in your school protecting your kids that knows what they're doing. Just like us, they're mandated 40 hours every year, and they're mandated an additional 18 hours on top of that. So we have some highly trained individuals in our schools, and I'm glad we do. And we're fortunate because not a lot of counties have that. We're constantly directing our patrol guys to be familiar with the schools and their AOR, and we recently started a SWAT team, back when I took office, and those guys are all the time doing this kind of active shooter, barricaded suspect stuff. So I feel good about the steps we've taken for that.
Thank you, sir. Our next question will be directed to Mr. Gary Mills. What is your stance on gun control in the wake of recent mass shootings?
That's one of the favorite questions we get asked all the time is, what's our feelings on gun control? The thing is, if you'll do your research on these mass shootings, most of these folks have mental health issues. We've got to do a better job at dealing with the mental health issues we have, not just in the county, in the state, in the United States. Everything is tracked back down to that. As far as gun control, I'll be a constitutional sheriff. We will protect your rights. You have the right to bear arms. We need to do a better job at dealing with our mental health.
Sheriff Myers, your response?
I would say most people that know me know that I'm a big believer in the Second Amendment. I mean, this same question was asked last time when we ran for office in 2018, and my stance hasn't changed. The more good people we have out there carrying firearms, the safer we are. I'm a big believer in that, and I'll end that question with this answer, and it was the same one that I had in 2018. As long as I'm sheriff of this county, you'll never have to worry about me or anybody coming to take your guns, and I'll go to prison before I take it. I'll go to prison before I take an honest man's or an honest woman's gun.
And Mr. Osborne.
Gun control is a touchy subject. We've got some people that believe that we need to take guns completely away, and we got some people that believe we need to sell more of them. But for me, the question I get into is, first of all, we don't want to violate the Constitution, but how can we figure out a way to keep guns out of people's hands that don't need them? Gun control is really not up to the sheriff. We're not going to make that decision. Our state legislators are. Our job is to enact the laws that they put out. But I will repeat this, what we just heard sitting right here. I am not in any way or any point ever going to stand up and allow guns to be taken away from people or violate the Constitution or any Constitution for that matter, as long as I'm sheriff.
Sheriff Myers, this next question is directed to you. Elections sometimes cause hard feelings and sides are chosen. If re-elected sheriff, how would you move the department forward?
It'd be business as usual for us. I mean, we're all professionals. We know what we're doing. August 5th will be just another day for us. I feel confident we're going to be back in office, and it'll be just another day. I mean, when I got elected in 2018, I sat down with everybody that worked at the sheriff's office, and I told them, I said, listen, that's in the past. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you supported. That's behind us, and we're going to look down the road. And that's what we'll do this time. I mean, it's just another day at the office. We got a job to do.
Mr. Osborne, your response.
Listen, elections are tough, guys. I went through this very thing we're sitting here talking about personally. But if I'm going to sit here and claim to be a constitutional sheriff, then I think it's important that we uphold that Constitution. And one part of that Constitution is right here. People have a right to vote or support who they want. I have a friend of mine right now that's no longer at the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department because of the heat was brought onto them because they're supporting me. That's the kind of stuff that we've got to get away from. I went through it for the administration prior to that, and listen, you have a right to vote or have a constitutional right to believe in what you want. And if it's not me, as long as it's not affecting your job, then we shouldn't have a problem with that.
And Mr. Mills, your response.
Folks, I've been through several of these. 2 terms under Dorning, term under Kenny Taylor, 2 terms under Brown. It's kind of different with me. I work with all these guys. Worked with them for years, work with them now. They kind of know where I'm at, what I stand for. So coming in and, expecting there to be a whole lot of change that's going to bother them, or if they're going to have a job, they all know better than that. So it's a little bit different in my situation. Usually when somebody's running, it's an outsider running, and they're not sure what's going to happen. So like I said, these guys know me, these girls know me, and they know what I stand for and what we're going to do when I get in.
Mr. Osborne, this next question is directed to you. In your view, what are the biggest issues facing the sheriff's office at this time?
We're facing several major issues, in my opinion, at this time. I have spoken to several employees, both from the corrections officer side and from the deputies side. Most of them, we've had a lot quit here recently, guys, and I hear that, well, it's about the money. But when I talk to them, it's not about the money. That's not what they say. Most of them will tell you that they're tired of the lies or lack of leadership. Of course, I'm sure that was probably the same when Jimmy was in there, but that's what you hear. But here's the one thing that I look at when it comes to the sheriff and how we deal with our people. It's called equality in law. Lady Justice is blindfolded for a reason. There can be no political favoritism for anybody whatsoever out there. Everybody must be held under the same standard of law, regardless of the situation or who you are, where you're from. That's how the law is supposed to be carried out. The example that I pulled up, guys, was this right here. If my brother is selling dope in Lawrence County, I'm going to go get him too.
Sheriff Myers, I'm going to give you a 30-second rebuttal if you would care to respond to that.
Yeah, pretty much everything he said was wrong. The only issue at the Sheriff's Department is the workforce shortage, and that's across the state. I talk to sheriffs in all the other 94 counties on a regular basis, and we're all in the same boat. If there's anything that needs immediate attention at the Sheriff's Department, it's a workforce shortage. But you know what? Our county stepped up, and we got the biggest raises in almost 18 years for the guys. That helped. We also got sign-on bonuses for the guys, and that helped. So we're starting to climb a little bit higher. But you know, every department in the county, every business in the county, everybody's dealing with the workforce shortage. And you know, I don't have all the answers. Money helps, but again, we're working through it, and it's good. There's a lot of good things going on in the sheriff's office right now.
Okay, Mr. Mills, I will repeat the question for your benefit. In your view, what are the biggest issues facing the sheriff's office at this time?
Same thing. It is the turnover rate. Folks, that's public record. You can pull it. I've got a copy here that I went and pulled. I've talked to these kids. They're not quitting because of the money. They're not quitting because of the job itself. They're quitting because they have no training, there's no structure at the department, and they're afraid to do their job. I encourage you, pull the turnover rate. Talk to these folks. They'll tell you why they're quitting. He talked about getting a raise. The commissioner's done a great thing, give them a raise. Nobody's going to turn money down. But we've had as many people quit since the raise come in as we did prior to the raise. So it's not the money. I encourage you, talk to these folks. They'll let you know why they're leaving.
Sheriff Myers, give you the final word.
You know, you can offset turnover rate with a lot of other things, which we've already done. Equipment upgrades, a better work environment, good supervision. You know, people are going to say things. People are going to talk. We hear that all the time. Fact of the matter is, the people, and then you got to look at the pre-employment process too. You know, ours is a little bit different. We just can't hire anybody off the street. They have to pass a background, they have to pass a drug screen, they have to pass a physical and a psychological. So it's a little bit harder for us to hire people. But again, you know, they want you to believe that it's just Lawrence County, and it's not just Lawrence County, it's statewide.
Okay, we are halfway through this session. This will be a good chance for all of us to take a little breather. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story & Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story & Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but you know the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the Green Egg Grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story & Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Stryker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Stryker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Stryker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renwright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renwright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renwright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Serve the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
Welcome back to the Reserve in the Lawrence County 2022 election forum. We are talking to our sheriff's candidates this evening, Mr. Rick Osborne, Mr. Gary Mills, and the incumbent Sheriff John Myers. Our next question will go to Mr. Mills. As sheriff, how would you foster an environment that ensures fair treatment of all people? Let me start that again. If that was any good, I'd be on Meet the Press, fellas. As sheriff, how would you foster an environment that ensures fair treatment of all people that are served by the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office? Please provide an example.
One thing you do is you start by building morale back up at the Sheriff's Department. You kind of lead by example. You've got a lot of young kids there working, and they don't understand the process of community policing. You get them out in the community. A lot of times doing this job, you deal with nothing but bad stuff, and it kind of makes these young officers feel like that's all they're dealing with is just bad people. When you do the community policing and you get out and you meet the folks, you walk into the stores and you get a different view, and it makes you end up being a lot better officer. If you're driving down the road, somebody's got a flat tire, pull over, help change the tire, and it just makes you a better officer, and it gets you involved in the community.
Mr. Osborne, your response.
One of the biggest things that we need to do is to make sure we educate not just our employees, but the public at large of just exactly what our Constitution actually stands for, guys. Law enforcement is a public service. All right, it is supposed to be fair and equal across the board to everybody. I know I hit on this a little bit while ago, but we're at the point now we have deputies out there that are short in training, and we can argue about why that is. But they're out there doing a job and not fully equipped educationally wise to even know what they're doing. It's hard to uphold a law if you don't know what the law is itself. It's not blaming them guys. We've got to do a better job of training them. Community policing to hit on. It is imperative that we get to know our people again. If we don't build relationships with you, I promise you guys, we cannot solve the crimes that's going on within this community.
And Sheriff Myers, you have the final word.
One of the things I ran on in 2018 was every victim of every crime would be treated equally. Doesn't matter if you're the mayor's kid or the local drunk. Every victim gets treated equally, and that's something that I pushed hard for, and my guys know that. Something that we did not long after taking office is when we assigned our patrol deputies to areas of the county, we make sure that we assign that patrol deputy to the area of the county that he either lives in or that he's from or he knows the most people, just to build that rapport with the people in that county. Something I'm a big believer in, and staying in touch with the citizens, and we're doing that. I mean, we're doing that, and we'll continue to do that.
Next question will be directed to Mr. Osborne. In what ways have you contributed to the community outside of law enforcement?
I have been coaching and officiating youth sports since I was 20 years old. I'm 51 years old, so I've been doing that for 31 years. In that 31 years, I have crossed thousands of kids, and not once have I ever received a payment for doing this. This is something I feel is vital for us as adults, and particularly law enforcement, to do. We have got to be more engaged with our community, especially our children at a young age, if we expect a different result in the crime and drug rates and so on and so on. I've been on the baseball board. Me and Nick Moore started up in Cal Ripken several years ago, and it's taken off pretty strong doing that. I've also spent a lot of time helping the homeless people. I've just engaged with a church that a member of David Morgan's church, and took him out showing him where the homeless are and trying to help address that issue, because it's an issue that we're not looking at. We've got to do a better job of realizing what our problems are so we can engage them better.
Sheriff Myers, in what way have you contributed to community outside of law enforcement?
Well, what I've learned since being the sheriff is that it's a 24/7, 365 job. So I don't know if I contribute outside of that capacity. If I'm in Lawrence County, I am Sheriff Myers. I'm no longer John Myers. The only time I get to be John Myers is when I leave Lawrence County. People that know me know that I'm always active in the community. I speak at churches and schools and community clubs, and we have a constitutional carry class and a citizens academy, and I'm all the time speaking to people, but I'm always doing it in the capacity of sheriff, and I'm fine with that. I haven't coached a ball team like the other guys have, but as sheriff, you're always sheriff. If you're in Lawrence County, you're sheriff, and so yeah, I mean, I guess the answer is zero.
Mr. Mills, in what ways have you contributed to the community outside of law enforcement?
I've coached in our youth sports for 25 plus years. That's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, wrestling. I've also been a board member on several of our youth sports. I set up for several years for TWRA, their Kids Fishing Day. I've taught several classes on drug use at our schools. Last class I did was for our homeschool kids. Didn't realize we had that many here. Did a big class for them for first responders. I have helped with our churches, for our elderly, and for some of our injured citizens, building ramps for their houses for easy access. Try to stay active in our community. If any of you have seen my Facebook page, you know my big thing is taking care of these kids.
Our next question will go to Sheriff Myers. Do you believe any improvements to the management of the county's jail are required? If so, what would you do differently to address concerns?
To the management, no. Now let me tell you what we done when we first took office. We saw some serious security issues when we first took office. One of the first things we did was we locked down our trustees. Our trustees had free roam all over the grounds of the sheriff's office and had access to some secure areas. Now they're locked down. They go to sleep with the other inmates in the jail, and they have a curfew. One of the other things that we done to improve the security in the jail was reduce contraband by getting a body scanner, and we acquired that through a vendor company that throw that in with the deal, so it didn't cost us anything. We also spent about $200,000 on our cameras. Our cameras were old and outdated and needed a major overhaul, so we done that. And now we've got a much better, much simpler operating program. So we're all the time looking at things that we can do to make the jail better. Management's great. Our command staff's great, and I'm very proud of them. They do a great job.
Mr. Mills, your response?
Well, I'm going to disagree with that. We've got to have strong leadership in that jail to take that jail back over. Like I said, the turnover rate, folks, in the past 4 years is over 100%. There's 100 plus employees that have been through this department and have quit. Like I said, I encourage you to talk to them and ask them why they're quitting. I don't work in the jail. All I can tell you is what they're telling me. They're telling me that the inmates are running the jail. They're telling me that they've got an inmate that has taught most of them how to work the control tower. Folks, the control tower is exactly what it says it is. It controls that whole jail. It locks the cells, it unlocks the cells. It can lock us from getting in to assist corrections if they need help. Like I said, I don't work in that jail. I encourage you to talk to these corrections officers. They're quitting.
Okay, and Mr. Osborne, your comments, please.
Yeah, there's obviously management issues. Anytime we have an issue inside of anything, it's going to be the supervision's job to make sure that's taken care of. 67 a lot of time, but I'll hit on a couple things. One, I was called Thursday night by the correction officer who was asking me for help what to do because they're so short-handed and they're scared. I have seen pictures of knives, shanks, homemade weapons. Just it's crazy what's going on in there. I've seen a picture of a trustee actually in the control tower, which that's a major issue too. Drugs inside the jail. 4 people that I know who go get trustees out said they can't get them out because they all failed a drug test. Have a close personal friend whose sister OD'd in that jail 3 times. That's his testimony. So I'm not going to sit there and call the man a liar, but yes, we've got some major issues going on in that jail, and we must deal with the management to get that straightened out.
Sheriff Myers, both candidates have made statements concerning the management of the jail. I'll give you 30 seconds for a final comment.
Well, they can say that because people tell them things. But what I can tell you is not that true. What I can tell you is that I go in that jail almost daily. These guys don't go in that jail daily. And we don't have a management problem. I have a jail administrator that is one of the most top-notch individuals you'll ever meet, and she's got a staff sergeant that's just as solid. And we've got a lot of good people that work back there. So this whole idea that the jail is out of control, that's a farce. That's not even a funny joke. You know, it's like reading something in the funny papers.
Okay, thank you. Next question will go to Mr. Mills. In the summer of 2020, the nation saw a movement to defund police. The criticisms that face police officers across the country has led to many officer shortages. What is your plan to combat this officer shortage should it ever arise in Lawrence County?
Well, luckily that's not a problem we have here. That's reserved for the big cities. The folks of Lawrence County has always been good to their law enforcement. You know, it's one of them questions I hate to even answer when they started about the defunding police. But in that same sentence, they were wanting better police and better police departments. Well, you would throw money at that instead of defunding them. As far as that goes, like I said, I don't think that's something we will have to deal with here.
Mr. Osborne?
The funding, I think it's important to make sure people understand this too. A lot of the funding we get comes from federal grants down to state grants down to local budgeting. Obviously, guys, when the federal grants cut money, the state's going to cut money and the ball's going to roll downhill. This has been going on way before 2020 come along. But the one thing that I think of all the time, and you're not going to get money if you don't ask for it. It's that simple. And once you ask for it, I think it's important that you show the commission or the commissioners that you're talking to that you're willing to make adjustments or cuts to help offset that. We've got to learn to work together a little better as a community, as a group. This goes back to learning each other. the more you know, the more I think you're willing to help us. But at the end of the day, if we're going to fix the financial problem, if that's what the problem is, we're just going to have to ask and start talking about it. You can't ignore it all the time.
And Sheriff Myers, you got the final word.
You know, Gary's right. I mean, we don't see much of that here. I mean, what we've seen is a change in the way people act now. I mean, it's acceptable to be disrespectful to law enforcement. It's acceptable to be belligerent. I mean, we deal with it all the time. But thank God we live in small town USA, because we just don't see that here. And our commission and our local government's really done a lot. They've done the exact opposite. Like I said, we secured those raises last year, and we secured another raise this year. And I've already told the candidates for some of the commissioner seats and the county executive seat, I'm going to be knocking on their door pretty soon too, after we get after the dust settles from this election, and I'm going to be asking for more money, and I'm going to keep asking for more money until I believe that my guys are being paid what they need to be paid.
Thank you. This next question will go to Mr. Rick Osborne. Social media, cell phones, and associated technology has changed how the public perceives public interactions today. These interactions with citizens are live streamed and posted online. What training have you done or will you do to make sure your officers are prepared for these interactions?
Well, I remember when the body cams first come out, and I will tell you, I wasn't a fan of them. I think most of us at that time wasn't a fan of them when they first come out. But the reality is, there's a body camera everywhere you go. Everybody's got a cell phone in their hand, and everybody videos what we do. Proper training and proper understanding of what we're doing is the key to that. Because at the end of the day, if we're doing our jobs the way we're supposed to be doing them, then we shouldn't have anything to worry about. There's nothing to hide if you're doing it correctly.
Sheriff Myers.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Social media, cell phones, and associated technology has changed how the public perceives police interactions. Today, these interactions with citizens are live streamed and posted online. What training have you done or will you do to make sure your officers are prepared for these interactions?
Well, there's training out there available. We was looking on some of our academy programs that we do some of our in-service on, and there's training available. I don't know how many deputies actually signed up to take that training. What I tell my guys is, look, you have to conduct yourselves like somebody's videoing you every time you walk out of the door. Every time you step out of the patrol car, every time you walk out of the office, conduct yourself like somebody's videoing you. When I took office, the camera system, the body camera systems that we had was old and outdated, and about 20% of them worked. And we were able to secure all new body cameras and an all new, easier operating program through a grant. And now all my guys have body cameras, and I tell them, look, I was wearing a camera before it was cool, before it was really pushed, and I got sued, and I seen how effective having that camera on to record that situation. I seen how important it was, so I make sure the guys know that. Yeah.
Mr. Mills, do you need me to repeat the question?
I got it.
Your response, please.
I started at a time before we had in-car cameras, body cameras, any of that. So when they first come out, like Rick said, we kind of hated them. But then we found out real quick that they save us more than they hurt us. These kids now has come up with these cameras in their car. They've got body cameras on all the time. They're used to being recorded. Every time they have interaction, they've got to turn that camera on. Most departments have set up policies for the social media and how to deal with it now. We have in-service training. I know the one I go to at TNOA, we go over social media and how to deal with that. So these kids are used to how to being on camera, so they know how to conduct themselves.
Thank you. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your answers to our questions this evening. Each of you will now have 90 seconds to make a closing statement by prior agreement. The order will be Mr. Mills, Mr. Osborne, and Mr. Myers. Mr. Mills, you have 90 seconds to make a closing statement.
Folks, like I said, this has been my career. I've been here for 20 plus years, no break-in service. I've stayed here in Lawrence County, worked narcotics for years. I know John said earlier they were more proactive than any sheriff ever. Folks, we were the #1 drug unit in the state. That was not under his term. We are wanting to build a drug unit back up. Whenever you do that, you start handling your break-ins, your thefts, every bit of that goes together. I'm ready to step in. I'm ready to lead this department, get morale built back up, retain these officers, and let's get this thing started. Thank you.
Mr. Osborne, you have 90 seconds for a close.
First, I'd like to thank all the people that tuned in to watch us, and thank y'all guys again for putting this together, allowing us to be here to talk about some of the concerns. Way more concerns and questions than what has been answered here today. A lot more answers for you. But I think the real question that it comes down to for all of us in here is who's the best fit for the job. I think that's what we're looking at right here. And so which one of us is best? For me, I sit right here with 2 drug guys. And we can all sit here and say that, we work dope. I've worked dope myself. Many cases over the years. Worked a bunch with this guy. Go to TNA with him every year. But I also bring a lot of education to the ground. I also have experience as an FTO and some supervision. I also bring experience from prior business leadership because the Sheriff's Department is a business at the end of the day. And we need to carry it out that way. I feel like that I am the more qualified across the board, and that's why I seek your vote, and I ask you humbly for it.
Gentlemen, I want to commend each of you for your responses this evening and for the manner in which you have responded. I think it has been a very good forum. Once again, the election is part of the general election. I'm sorry, Mr. Myers.
It happens all the time. Don't worry about it. No.
You got 90 seconds.
We'll just have a roadblock at the end of your driveway tomorrow night. No, that's fine. No, that's fine.
That is my mistake.
No worries. So, again, thanks for having us. Thanks for putting it together. Thanks for all your hard work. We appreciate it. And, the old saying is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I can guarantee you the Sheriff's Department's not broke. It's better than it's ever been. And again, I'm going all the way back to the 90s when I started. I'm coming up on 30 years this August that I've been doing this. And it doesn't seem like that long, but anyway, there was some things that I hoped we could have discussed that wasn't talked about. I wish I could have went into detail about all the wasteful spending that we uncovered and all the tax dollars that we've saved and all the $1 million plus in grants that we've acquired, all the good things that we've done, all the accomplishments we have under our belt. I mean, I've got a list that I was prepared to unload tonight, but after seeing how it was kind of set up, I had a feeling I wasn't going to be able to get in. But we can do that another time. And if anybody wants to come by 240 West Gaines and talk to me, I can kind of fill them in on a lot of that other stuff that I wanted to get out this evening. But again, thanks for having us. I appreciate all your hard work. Be careful going home. I need your help. I'm not good at asking for help. But I need your help, I need your support, and most importantly, I need your vote. But God bless.
Sheriff Myers, I apologize for almost stiffing you, and fortunately, my helpers here
that's fine.
flagged me down.
Bill, it'll be all right.
I drive a black GMC, and I'll tell you the tag number once we get off the air. Again, I want to commend the 3 of you for your responses this evening and the manner in which you have responded. Again, our general election, this election will be a part of the general election, which is held on August the 4th. That's a Thursday. Early voting begins this coming Friday. We will be back with our county executive candidates right after this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story & Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story & Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the Green Egg Grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free. Free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story and Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Striker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Striker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Striker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renwright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renwright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renwright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Serve the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
Hi, this is Clint Alley with your local history timeout. In this timeout, we're going to have a look at women's suffrage. Did you know that Lawrenceburg gave women the right to vote more than a year before the passage of the 19th Amendment? Lawrenceburg gave women the right to vote in municipal elections more than a year before the passage of the 19th Amendment, and that included all eligible women, both black and white. In 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified by one vote in the Tennessee legislature, giving women the right to vote nationwide. But the women of Lawrenceburg won the right to vote in municipal elections more than a year before the passage of the 19th Amendment. The first time women voted in Lawrenceburg was on May 13, 1919. Mrs. C.T. Crawford was the first woman to arrive at the polls soon after they opened that morning, followed shortly thereafter by Docia Spann. The Lawrence Democrat reports that 161 women participated in that first mixed-sex municipal election in 1919. This number included several black women whom it says were allowed to vote the same as the men. This has been your local history timeout. For more about Lawrence County history, check out my book, Lawrence County History Trivia, available at the law offices of White & Betts on the square in Lawrenceburg, at New Moon Antiques on the square in Lawrenceburg, and on Amazon.
And welcome back to the Reserve here on the Square in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We are now ready for a question and answer session for our county executive candidates. Our candidates this evening, Mayor Lerner and David Morgan. By prior agreement, the opening statements will begin with Ms. Lerner. You will have 90 seconds. Mr. Morgan, you will follow. You have 90 seconds to address the community. The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and thank you WLX and tonight's sponsors for creating this forum. My name is Mara Lerner, and I'm excited to take a break from eating catfish tonight. And I'm here to tell you that you have another conservative option in this race. I am a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a business owner, clinical therapist, and the chairwoman of the Chamber of Commerce, and I am seeking to earn your vote for the Lawrence County Executive. I chose to come to Tennessee 15 years ago to give my family freedom and opportunity, and I feel I have the responsibility to protect and preserve Lawrence County's conservative, rural lifestyle so that future generations can have the same opportunities that my family was given. I would appreciate your vote in the upcoming general election. Thank you.
Mr. Morgan, you have 90 seconds to address the forum.
Good evening, Lawrence County. Good evening, everyone that's tuning in, friends and family that are out there. Man, it's great to have the opportunity to share tonight from my heart as to why I am looking forward to the opportunity to be your county executive. I just want to say thank you to WLX and all the sponsors tonight for all of their willingness to put this together. I'm David Morgan. I'm a father of 5 children, married to Stephanie, grew up here in Lawrence County, moved here when I was 1 year old from Hardin County, Tennessee. And my family has worked hard here in construction and in ministry and nonprofit work. And man, I have been preparing, I believe, my whole life for an opportunity like this. Stephanie and I and our oldest daughter, Peyton, were just flying home from Rwanda a few weeks ago doing a mission trip. And as I was up above the world just looking down, I thought about all of this political stuff, all that's been going on. And I thought about how special it is to be a part of the democratic process. Very few people on the planet Earth ever get this opportunity. And so I'm thankful tonight to have that opportunity. And I'm asking you for your support. I'm asking you for your vote. I'm asking you for the opportunity to lead this county as your next county executive.
Thank you very much. All right, we will now enter our question and answer session. The first question will go to you, Ms. Lerner. Why are you running for Lawrence County Executive, and what steps have you taken to prepare yourself for this position?
Well, first of all, I'm running because I absolutely love this county. I've been on numerous boards and committees over the years. I've volunteered. I've been part of the jail ministry. And I believe that my unique background through real estate development and being a longtime local business owner qualifies me to help run this county. I have numerous degrees in business and HR, lots of classes dealing with economics and budgeting and accounting. And I also have a degree in mental health that I believe will bring a unique aspect to this position. I'm the first woman in 27 years to be elected as the county as the chairwoman of the board, and I was elected by business leaders of our community that are well respected. I've been to every single county commission meeting since I announced, and I'm the only county executive candidate that has done that. I take this very seriously. And I want you to know that I will give my all to this position, and I think that I bring the best qualifications to this position.
Mr. Morgan, why are you running for Lawrence County Executive, and what steps have you taken to prepare yourself for this position?
Plain and simple, this is my home. I've lived here my entire life as much as I've known of it. And Stephanie and I have 5 beautiful children. All 5 of them are going to be in Lawrence County schools this year. And so it's very important to me as to what happens in this county, the direction of this county. Growing up here, working here, building construction business here, and serving in nonprofit work from ministry in a church to chairman of the board at Kids Place for the last 11 years, to being on the baseball, soccer, FCA board, and part of the board of Advocates for Africa global organization. What I've done over the last 20 years of my life is sat down at boards with boards of directors and at tables and balanced budgets and got stuff done. And so I'm the candidate in this race that has a proven track record of leadership, and it's been indicative here in this county. People have seen that, and I'm thankful for the opportunity tonight to run for this office. And I just think Lawrence County can continue to be a great place to live with the right leadership in place.
Mr. Morgan, this next question will come to you first. What are the most important challenges facing our county, and how do you propose to address them?
Lawrence County does have a few challenges, but I don't like to use the word challenges. I like to use the word opportunities. I think in every situation that may seem adverse or difficult, it's really an opportunity to expand and grow and to make our county better. Number one issue, I believe, in our county is our workforce. We have a struggling workforce. We are at the lowest ever unemployment rate in Lawrence County history, which is great. But at the same time, employers are longing and looking for quality workforce. And so I want to address that by creating opportunities through a TCAP program and various other things to make that happen. Also, housing is an issue for us here. We don't have enough housing for the people that are looking to move here and come to this community. Those are two things, two challenges, yet better yet said, opportunities that we have to make Lawrence County better.
Ms. Lerner, what are the most important challenges facing our county, and how do you propose to address them?
Well, first of all, this growth that we're having right now is huge and unprecedented. We need a leader that will help us move into this time in our lives where we need to plan appropriately. If we fail to plan, we plan to fail. And I know that through my experience with the Chamber of Commerce, working with economic development, being a business and community leader, that I bring what is necessary to work with the commissioners in order to plan properly. I also know that I'm a professional listener by trade. That's what I do for a living. I am a clinical therapist, and I listen to people for a living, so I will listen to our community and the things that we need to do and what we need to address. As part of the Chamber of Commerce, I've also been a part of trying to have the housing studies that we need in order to plan properly. So I believe that through open communication and collaboration with our commissioners, that we can plan properly for this future growth and our housing needs.
Ms. Lerner, please explain what you feel the duties and authorities to be of the county executive and how that fits into your vision of the office over the next 4 years.
Well, first of all, to be the county executive, you are the face of the county. You're the person that's responsible for building the relationships, continuing the relationships that are already formed in order to better our community. I believe that I'm a person that loves people and loves working relationships. I'm not a polarizing person. I believe in collaboration. And so that is first and foremost the part of this job. The second part is working with the commissioners. The commissioners are the ones that truly hold the power in our community. There are 18 different districts in our community and 18 different commissioners. Every one of them have a different personality, and I believe that through my training of listening and collaboration and problem solving, that I can work with the commissioners for the betterment of our community.
Mr. Morgan, please explain what you feel the duties and authorities to be of the county executive and how that fits into your vision of the office over the next 4 years.
County executive is essentially the CEO, the chief executive officer of this community, of this county, a budget of $100 million plus. And the office of county executive has the great privilege to initiate legislation and to push forward ideas and ideology that will help our county grow and will help certain parts of our county better themselves. And it has a lot to do with also managing the finances. So not only are you the CEO of the county, but your office and the budget office together are the CFO of the county. And so managing the finances of taxpayer money is very, very important. And you need someone in that role that's had leadership experience. And I just believe it's very clear in this race who has the most leadership experience, who has sat down at tables with boards of directors for years and years and years, balanced budgets, made things happen, and got stuff done. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do that and be a face and be a representative for Lawrence County and help this place grow economically and maintain our Judeo-Christian roots and values.
Mr. Morgan, what do you hope to accomplish if elected county executive, and where do you see Lawrence County in 4 years?
Well, first I want to say Lawrence County is in a great position right now. Our current administration, T.R. Williams, and the current county commission have done an incredible job. For one of the first times in the history of our county, we have a budget surplus to give us flexibility to move and to grow. I believe in 4 years from now, I would love to see a Tennessee Technology Center here in Lawrence County. We have some pilot programs that are going on right now, but I just believe the next phase that we need for employment in this county is technical jobs. I believe we need more plumbers, more electricians, more welders. I'm an electrician by trade myself. My family has been in electrical trade my entire life. That was what I built my business upon for the last 20-something years in construction. And I just believe that is the next step for us to put a TCAP program, a TCAP building, brick and mortar. If we can work with the state of Tennessee to get that done right here in Lawrence County and then expand other opportunities beyond that.
Ms. Lerner, what do you hope to accomplish if elected county executive, and where do you see Lawrence County in the next 4 years?
Well, I think first and foremost, one of the most important things that we need to bring to the table is transparency, honesty, and ethics. I believe that we need to stop the unnecessary spending and also have a plan for creating jobs and realize that everybody in this community has been created differently. We need to provide opportunity for the differences in personalities and interests and technical backgrounds. We need to allow people to flourish and grow here in our county. We also need to make sure that our county grows at a good, healthy rate. We need to have diversity in all of our business experiences here locally. If we are all vested in something like a Murray of Ohio that was here locally, that when it failed, everything fell apart, then we'll be setting ourselves up for failure again. And I believe that diversity in businesses, diversity in education, and diversity in opportunity is the way that we need to go in 4 years.
Ms. Lerner, what is the most important issue facing the Lawrence County executive?
Once again, I believe that transparency and education is probably the most important thing that we deal with. We have, of course, budgets and things like that that are important to this position. I believe that my background, not only through the chamber, but as serving on the finance committee for numerous years, will bring the needed experience to this position. I understand what it takes to run budgets. I understand what it takes just being a local business owner and having to do payroll and just taking care of the needs that are necessary. I ran my business, a debt-free business, through a pandemic and without a sidewalk for over a year now. I understand the needing to move with how everything changes in life, and I know that we need to continue to grow, to communicate, to collaborate, and to unite in order to get this position taken care of.
Mr. Morgan, in your opinion, what is the most important issue facing the Lawrence County executive?
As county executive, you are the chief executive officer, the most highest elected official in this county. And like in any leadership position, the currency of leadership is communication. And communication is key to everything. And I think back about Murray closing down in 2005 and my family and how things went. And I don't feel like it was a disaster for Lawrence County. Lawrence County stepped up to the plate. Miss Lerner wasn't even here in 2005, and I grew up here, lived here. Businesses and business owners and individuals that even lost their jobs at Murray started their own businesses, and Lawrence County has thrived. And I think the county executive's office has to key in on communication and let the vision be known of what we want to accomplish and that we can do it together. And from small business to big business to new industry coming to town, I'm the one with the experience to work in those arenas as I have done in industrial electrical contracting for the last 20-something years of my life. And the opportunity is there if we will just go out and knock on the door and make it happen. And the executive has the responsibility of looking beyond today and this moment to look toward the future and have vision for what is going to happen in Lawrence County down the road.
Thank you. We have much more to go, and we will be back with more questions and answers right after this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story & Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story & Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but you know the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the Green Egg Grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free. Free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story and Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Striker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more. Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Striker's Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Striker's Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Renwright Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Renwright is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Renwright Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Serve the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
And we're back at the Reserve here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and our 2022 election forum for Lawrence County. Mr. Morgan, this question is for you. If you had an additional $50,000 to add to the budget, where would you see it best spent?
Well, in light of our current budget, that's about 0.0005% of our budget. So the first thing I would do, I'd call my friends at the Ministerial Association, I'd bring them into the office, and I have them lay hands on that money and pray over it that it will multiply like the loaves and the fishes, because there's not a lot you can do with 50 grand, okay, in light of a $100 million budget. But I will say this, I think the first place I would look at expanding our opportunity is within our emergency services. I've been speaking to all the fire halls and the chiefs of the volunteer fire halls, and Lawrence County needs to bring our volunteer fire halls and our emergency services, our first responders, we need to bring them something new to the table. And so looking at hiring a county fire chief would be a first step for us among many steps that need to happen. But I believe that $50,000 would best be spent investing it into the people that sacrifice their life and give their time to be there for us and our families in our times of need and emergency.
Ms. Lerner, if you had an additional $50,000 to add to the budget, where would you see it best spent?
Well, I wish I could say that the choice would be up to me, but it's not. I would advocate for, of course, the first responders, and also bringing clean and pure water to the local citizens. So there are numerous people in our area that need help with water, and there are also a lot of needs in the current firehouses right now for equipment that's mandated but they cannot support. So with that being said, with these two concerns that I have, I'd bring it to the commissioners and I'd ask them what they feel is important, because ultimately they are the ones that are voting on every single issue. I don't even have a vote unless it is to break a tie as the chairman. So I believe that working together, really advocating for the firemen, advocating for clean water, and then listening to the commissioners of what's important in their district and collaborating together in order to make something meaningful happen with that $50,000.
Thank you. Ms. Lerner, what do you see as Lawrence County's greatest strength, and what is the county's greatest weakness?
I believe that Lawrence County's greatest strength, and one of the reasons that I'm here, are the people. Everyone here in this community really rallies around each other. I even say that in my video. they rally around the people that are in need. They rally around the efforts that are given to bring up those in need. And so I'm proud to say that I'm from Lawrence County and that I work with people in order to get these things done. I would say that the greatest weakness probably is the division at times. Right now, in any kind of political environment, there's division. And if we focus on those differences and that division, then we really cause ourselves to not have the best positive impact that we can have on our community.
Mr. Morgan, what do you see as Lawrence County's greatest strength, and what is the county's greatest weakness?
Well, I have to agree with Ms. Lerner. It is our people. Our people is what makes us great, and even the people that we're attracting from all over the country. Ms. Lerner herself and her family and her children are wonderful people. Her parents are wonderful people. I've had the honor of knowing them ever since they moved here, pretty much. But what makes this place great is our people. But better than that, it's who our people are that make it great. And our people are people that have Christian values. Our people are people that have Southern values. Our people are people that will unify and work together to accomplish tasks, even when we may disagree. And what's difficult, maybe the most detrimental or difficult weakness in our county, I believe, once again, is our available workforce. And it's something we have to work together with our commission and our county to get our workforce into a better place, to be able to equip people to have the necessary skills to be able to have gainful employment, to raise our median household income, to create opportunity, which generates even more revenue for the county, to create opportunity to expand services and to do more based upon their quality of life improving.
Mr. Morgan, interestingly, this next question falls right along that same line. Do you believe in supporting active recruitment for jobs outside of the industrial sector? Examples might be information technology or medical. Would Lawrence County be a good place for these career types?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, our number one economic driver in Lawrence County is agriculture. It's not industry. It's not the retail sector. It's not fast food. It's agriculture. Hands down the biggest part of our of our county's income and revenues from that, and creates the most jobs. When we were coming home from Rwanda, I was thinking about this, just this idea. Rwanda is a little country right in the middle of Africa, very poor in certain parts, but it's considered the IT, internet technology, hub of Africa. And I thought, man, if they can do it there, in a place where people live in mud huts, then we can expand into information technologies and all those kind of things here in Lawrence County. With people working remotely now from home, not only can you get education at a computer at home, but you can also work and create opportunity that way. Why not Lawrence County? Why not us? It doesn't have to be a metropolitan area. How about the good people of Lawrence County have opportunities to grow in that area as well?
Okay, Ms. Lerner, do you believe that in supporting active recruitment for jobs outside of the industrial sector? Again, examples being information technologies or medical, and would Lawrence County be a good place for these career types?
It's absolutely a great place for these career types. We have also built programs here to be able to keep people here, and I believe that having active recruitment for medical is important. However, I would like to build upon what we have here already. We have schooling and we have programs in order to fill these niches. We also have technology, but we are already bringing in people from other areas in order to fill that need. Technology is huge. We've already doubled since 2017 on our remote workers here. So I know that the medical field is something that will always continue to grow, that will always need people. So sometimes we will need to recruit from outside. However, building on the programs that we already have and creating new programs in order to support the people that want to be here and have hope and opportunity here is vital.
Thank you. Ms. Lerner, in the year 2022, many parts of Lawrence County still do not have access to fresh water services. How will you, as county executive, work to expand the county's water lines?
Well, in our county, we just signed a contract with Croy Engineering and to form a plan and increase the works that we need to do within our county. So once we get that plan back, I plan to work with the districts, the water districts, and with the commissioners and figure out exactly where we need to promote the growth and the bringing of the pure water. I think that water is a necessity. It's not something that's a luxury, and we need to make this a priority. So while working with the professionals that come up with these kind of plans, that make these studies, and our commissioners, I believe that we can make this happen for our county.
Mr. Morgan, same question for you. In the year 2022, many parts of Lawrence County still do not have access to fresh water services. How will you, as county executive, work to expand the county's water lines?
Great question. It is certainly a challenge in our county. You know, we have numerous water districts in Lawrence County, and some of those are doing really well. Some of those maybe struggle at times. And there are community development block grants that our county's been looking into. The current administration and the current commission are looking at those block grants right now. And some of the parameters for those grants, I think, are unreasonable. So oftentimes I think we as a county, we as a commission, as you chair the commission as the county executive, have to look into opportunities to bring more money here to be able to create the opportunity to expand our infrastructure. But we also need to sit at the table with all of these 8 different water districts in Lawrence County, and let's see the ones that are doing well, let's copy and paste what they are doing in the situations where the ones that are not doing well. So it's about communication. Leadership is about that. It's about sitting down at tables, talking it out, getting people to the table, getting over egos and making things happen so that Lawrence County can be better in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Morgan, what does leadership mean to you?
One word sums up leadership, and that's servanthood. Nobody's exemplified that better in my life than my father and my mother. When I was 1 year old, we moved here from Savannah, Tennessee. There was a little church on South Locust Avenue that was closing down if they didn't get a new pastor. My dad came, and he left a brand new home on the river in Savannah. He laughs, he jokes still today, says it was the first new home and last new home we ever had, and moved here and decided to bivocationally pastor a church and work his construction business. My parents exemplified that, and I am thankful that they gave me that understanding that serving is what leadership is. You know, if somebody claims to be a leader, really all they need to do is stop and turn around and see who's following them. I believe in this race, leadership, the differences in leadership is clearly in my favor and my track record of leadership in this community. Leaders lead and leaders develop other leaders, but you do that with a servant's heart, and you do that with honesty, you do that with integrity.
And Ms. Lerner, what does leadership mean to you?
I believe that leadership is more than standing in the limelight and taking credit for a group effort. And I also believe that leadership is something that comes from within. I have personally led through numerous ventures, whether it be business ventures in my home or even through the Chamber of Commerce. I was chosen to be a leader of the Chamber of Commerce, to be the chairwoman, the first chairwoman in 27 years, because of the local business owners and the local banks and legal services. The people that were on that board chose me. I know that I'm a proven leader, and I know that I bring a lot to the table. I'm not polarizing, and I'm not somebody that says that they have to have it their way. I'm somebody that will listen to everyone. I'm a professional listener, and I believe that I can build people and help support this community in the way that it needs moving forward.
Thank you. We will have more questions and answers coming up in just a bit. Now this.
Hello, folks. We're here at Story & Lee, and I'm Roy Story. I'm going to introduce you to the type grills we are carrying this year at Story & Lee. We are carrying Broad King, which is built in North America. Great grills. They make the gas grills and they make the pellet grills. This gas grill has the lights on it, the rotisserie, the infrared burner, which is for searing your meat really fast. Then we go down to the pellet grill, which is great. You can grill, you can bake, you can smoke, you can do about anything you want to on it. You cut it on, you put your pellets in the hopper here, then you have hickory or you can have apple, you can have a mixture. You put your meat on there, close it down, walk away. You might be familiar with the Holland. It cooks a lot like the Holland used to cook, but the Holland went out of business. So this is your replacement for the Holland. Then you have the Green Egg Grill, which cooks with 100% charcoal, which is wood, and it's great. You can smoke, you can sear fast. A lot of people have these. All these grills have great warranties, great guarantees. For you people watching tonight, we're going to do free. Free charcoal, free cover, free assembly, and free delivery. So come see us at Story & Lee. Have a good night.
Are you craving some fresh steak? Stryker's Steakhouse has a great selection of fresh steak, chicken, and more, Catering options are also available for events such as weddings, holiday parties, and corporate events. We are ready to serve your large group with exceptional food in our party room too. Stop in at Stryker Steakhouse for the best steak in Middle Tennessee at 321 Cruz Street, or give us a call at 931-244-7457 to ask about catering options or party reservations. That's Stryker Steakhouse in Lawrenceburg.
Rent-Right Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Rent-Right is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Rent-Right Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Surf the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Inflation, a word we have heard too many times in the news lately. We know how inflation has affected us at the gas pumps and when we buy our groceries, but how does it affect our retirement accounts? I'm Stanley Wilson with Harvest Financial Services, a local retirement planner with 39 years of experience located in Lawrence County. We know inflation makes prices go up, but it also makes your money worth less. Call or text me, Stanley Wilson at Harvest Financial Services, and let's discuss a strategy to overcome inflation. For a no-cost, no-obligation review of your financial situation, call me, Stanley Wilson, at 931-242-4495.
And we're back at the Reserve in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We're talking to the candidates for county executive in Lawrence County. Ms. Lerner, this next question is for you. Nationally, there is a growing level of economic uncertainty. Should the county or should the country fall into a recession, or the county also for that matter, what steps would you take as county executive to keep the county operating with a balanced budget? What services would you look at scaling back should economic conditions warrant as such?
Well, first of all, we need to focus on our basic necessities. We would eliminate things like new construction, remodeling, redecorating, new vehicles, and such. I believe in reducing debt right now while maintaining a good, healthy cash flow, because that's what I did with my business. As a business owner here locally for numerous years, I have also ran my business in such a way where I did not have any debt, and I used that benefit in order to get through the pandemic. I believe something like that would be beneficial in order to run our county properly. I think that also cutting things that are frivolous, such as Christmas lights and things like that around the county, would be something that's necessary.
Mr. Morgan, nationally there is a growing level of economic uncertainty. Should the country fall into a recession, or the county for that matter, what steps would you take as county executive to keep the county operating with a balanced budget? What services would you look at scaling back should economic conditions warrant as such?
First of all, what I would not do is wait till a pandemic or recession or something hit our county to prepare. I think a failure to plan is a plan to fail. My dad always said, plan the work, son, work the plan. And so the plan would be to constantly have a budget surplus, to constantly have a savings account for our county. We are blessed to have that now. Our current County Executive T.R. Williams, along with the County Commission, has made that possible. There are essential services that you have to have, and that sometimes you need to bolster during times of pandemonium or times of recession. When the economy gets difficult, people get desperate. And so fully funding our Sheriff's Department, fully funding our emergency services, fully funding other essential parts of our government would certainly be priority. And then the frivolous things, and I agree with Ms. Lerner, there's a lot of little bells and whistles and frivolous things that we do sometimes when we are in good times that we would certainly have to scale back on, just like I have to do with 5 kids and budgeting my own finances, especially with the price of gas right now and all that's going on in Washington. We have to know how to scale back and how to budget properly.
Mr. Morgan, this next question for you. Both candidates for this office are said to be busy people. each of you with large families and various other commitments. How do you weigh the responsibilities of county executive, dedicate the necessary time to this office, while still maintaining your current avenues of involvement?
Well, I don't like the word busy, first of all. I'm not a busy person. I am a productive person. And there's a difference. A busy person is anxious. A busy person is worried. A busy person is exhausted. I'm not any of those things. I'm a productive person, and when I see challenges ahead of me, I go at them full steam. And I am currently a pastor of a church, yes, and many have been saying, we need a full-time county executive. Well, there's no option for anything other than a full-time county executive. It's absurd to even consider that as an option. I'm not going to quit preaching the gospel either. Our current county executive has been a pastor for the last 8 years. He ran unopposed the last term. He is still ministering every Sunday to people in his congregation. I'm going to do that as well. Why can I do that? Because I've developed a leadership structure in our church, a leadership structure in our 8 Oaks Recovery Program, where I am not the sole manager of either of those entities. I have more time right now in my life than I've ever had before to pour my heart, soul, time, energy, and effort into this opportunity. And I'm looking forward to doing that.
Ms. Lerner, both candidates for this office are said to be busy people, each of you with large families and various other commitments. How do you weigh the responsibilities of county executive, dedicate the necessary time to this office, while still maintaining your current activities of involvement?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, because I have a proven track record. A number of years ago, when I still had 6 kids in the home, a business, and numerous other obligations through volunteerism and serving on boards and committees, I decided to go back to school full-time in order to earn a master's degree. Full-time in college world is 12 hours, and that 12 hours equates to 36 hours weekly of schoolwork. I did 15 to 18 hours every single semester for a number of years while maintaining my other responsibilities and doing them well. I also maintained a 4.0 during that time, and I was on the Honor Society as the Secretary and Treasurer of the UT Honor Society. So I know through my proven track record that I have the ability to multitask and to do a full-time position because I'm not in school anymore. And I know that I can have the time, the dedication, the work ethic, and everything that this position requires. And I will not be taking a second salary from another position.
Thank you. Ms. Lerner, at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Lee allowed local officials to make several public health decisions, one of those being mask mandates. If you were in office in the spring of 2020, how would you have handled these decisions given by the state?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the governor for even allowing us to serve in a different way and make our own choices in our county, because our county is definitely different than Davidson County. So with that being said, I believe that the mask mandate is something that was important. I believe that social distancing and some masking is important in the respect of keeping kids in school. I believe that having the kids out of school served as a disservice to our children and to education and to the families at large. I believe that we needed to keep the kids in school because when we had the kids out of school, we had loss of growth and learning. We also had an increase in physical and sexual abuse. And I know it was a hardship on families because I experienced it myself. But during this time, I know one thing for sure, that we learned the importance of our local teachers. We learned how vital they are to our children and to our families' lives. And I want to thank each and every teacher for what they did during this pandemic.
Mr. Morgan, at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Lee allowed local officials to make several public health decisions, one of which being the mask mandates. If you were in office in the spring of 2020, how would you have handled these decisions given by the state?
Plain and simple, as a county executive, I would not have mandated masks. I would have left that up to private businesses. I would have left that up to churches. I would have left that up to the school and the principals of the schools, the school board, and the superintendent of schools. It would have been their decision to make. Oftentimes, the problem in America is that government usurps our authority. We step over our bounds. This is still a free country. People have a right to conduct themselves with their own health care in their own way and with their own choices. Now, I do know as a pastor at the time We had to close our church down. It was not good for people in our church. Families struggled. The school's closing down. One of my children really struggled in school after that. And it's difficult to make those huge mandated swipes. It's important to let local individuals that run organizations and businesses in our schools to make those decisions. I would not have mandated masks in that circumstance whatsoever, but I highly recommended it to our congregation because at the end of the day, it's about loving your neighbor, being considerate of others. That's what true servanthood is.
Thank you. Mr. Morgan, as Lawrence County continues to experience population growth, especially in the northern third of the county, how would you work with the school system to address potential overcrowding issues on a school-by-school basis?
You know, it's a great problem that we have, or let me say, opportunity that we have with the growth of Lawrence County. And I know Summertown is booming and growing, and opportunity is certainly there. I know everyone would like to see new schools, would like to see $40, $50, $60 million school projects going on. But let's just be real. As a fiscal conservative, I understand we don't have the money to do things like that unless we raise taxes, unless we borrow a bunch of money. So that's impossible. The current administration has already addressed this. The current county commission, they already have land set aside in Summertown. They have land set aside to build extra buildings. They didn't go bulldozing buildings in the last 4 years, 8 years. What they did was they repaired and refreshed buildings, and they built new buildings to suffice for the growth that was there in the moment. But we can't just have pie-in-the-sky ideas. We have to be real with our budget, and we got to maintain our conservatism when it comes to our fiscal responsibilities here in Lawrence County.
Ms. Lerner, as Lawrence County continues to experience population growth, especially in the northern third of the county, how would you work with the school system to address potential overcrowding issues on a school-by-school basis?
Well, first of all, I'd work with the director of schools and the school board because they're elected to address these issues. I pledge to work hand in hand with them in order to support what they see fit for our county and growth. I also would work with the district commissioners in that area. I know that they know that community and they know exactly what they need. And I believe working together with the other commissioners in order to come up with solutions for the growth in the North End is vital. I believe that we cannot just continue to work toward putting Band-Aids on such big needs, and that we need to have a plan to move forward, because if once again we fail to plan, we plan to fail. We need to have plans for that future growth. We don't just put a Band-Aid on it and then walk away. We need to have a proactive plan for the future, and that's what proper planning does. And I believe that through every avenue of our growth, we need to look forward to the future and plan appropriately, and not just put a Band-Aid on something right now, but to move in a direction that will be helpful for our futures, because that's what it takes.
Thank you. All right, this will be our final question of the evening. The first response will go to Ms. Lerner. Opinions and emotions among each of your support bases are running high as we move closer to Election Day. Moving forward after the election, how will you work to reunify Lawrence County to move forward together?
Well, it's funny that you said that, forward together, because that is my campaign slogan. I chose the color orange because it means inclusiveness. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, if you're Democrat, or anything in between. I believe in listening to every single person that's within our community. I have the heart and compassion and listening skills to hear what people want in our area. I believe in working together and not being polarizing. I'll work with everyone, and I don't hold grudges. I don't feel entitled to anything. I don't feel entitled to your vote. I just know that I will work for you. And I know that working with people and listening to people is key in communication, and transparency in education is what we need to move forward.
Mr. Morgan, opinions and emotions among each of your support bases are running high as we move closer to Election Day. Moving forward after the election, how will you work to reunify Lawrence County to move forward together?
Well, I'm a fierce competitor. Grew up playing sports. I coach football, basketball, baseball nowadays, and I've always taught my players, and I was always taught by the good coaches to, you know what, leave it all on the field. Leave it all on the field. Yes, I'm a competitor in this race, but I don't look at my opponent as the enemy. I just look at her as a competitor. And when this race is over, she is a Lawrence County citizen just like anyone else. If I'm fortunate enough to win, I will give her voice and her heart and her concerns just as much value as anyone else's, because we are Lawrence County at the end of the day, and we are better together, united together, as we always have been. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity to be able to do that and to lead this county, because I'm one of those Lawrence Countyans myself. And you better believe that I want what's best for this county, and I'm going to work hard, give it everything I have to put my best foot forward and to give all of my time, effort, and energy to helping this county progress.
Thank you. That concludes our question and answer session, and I want to commend both of the candidates for your professionalism, your preparation for the event this evening, and the manner in which you have answered the questions. You each now have 90 seconds to make a closing statement. By prior agreement, Mr. Morgan, you will go first.
Well, thank you, Bill. Thank you also, WLX, for the opportunity to do this tonight. Thank you, Lawrence County, for even allowing me to be in this race. Man, this is my home. Stephanie and I are raising 5 children in public schools this year. All 5 of them will be going to your public schools. And the teachers that are in this county, from my kindergarten teacher all the way up to my high school teachers, they were very, very instrumental in my life, in the development of who I am. And I know many of you are watching tonight, and I just want you to know, Lawrence County, I'm going to give it more than a full-time effort. As a matter of fact, in ministry, and when you own your own business, when you start nonprofits, you don't punch a clock. I don't know what punching a clock is. And so I'm going to work more than full-time. I'm going to give my life, my time, my talent, my treasure toward helping Lawrence County better themselves. And as far as the church is concerned, as far as my ministry is concerned, I've been so blessed to have a wonderful church. And I want you to know, for the last year and a half, they've been behind me 100%. My board is behind me. My staff is behind me. The opportunity that we have for growth in this county is positive, and it's ahead of us. And I'm not a divisive or polarizing person either. I am the Republican candidate, and I would appreciate your vote. And more than that, I covet your prayers. Please pray, not just for me and my campaign, Ms. Lerner as well. Pray for this county, that God's best would be what we get to cherish and what we get to have for Lawrence County. God bless, and thank you again for this wonderful opportunity. August 4th, and this Friday, early voting starts.
Ms. Lerner, you have the final word, 90 seconds.
Well, thank you, and thank you everyone for this wonderful opportunity. And first, I'd like to point out that not being from here is not a negative. I chose to be here because I love the people and I love the lifestyle. And I was not handpicked for this position. I'm not beholden to anyone. Lawrence County, you have another conservative option. David himself will tell you, like he did at a table full of people at the NRA banquet, that I am a conservative Republican. Legally, this job is a full-time position, legally, by the state of Tennessee. And ethically, you need to elect someone capable of and willing to do a full-time job and its requirements. A $100 million annual budget is not a part-time gig. It will require a person with the necessary background and commitment to see our county flourish. I am that person. I ask that you vote for Mara Lerner for Lawrence County Executive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Lawrence County 2022 election forum. Once again, the polls open on August the 4th with early voting beginning on Friday, July 15th. That's this coming Friday. We urge Lawrence County citizens to make their voices heard. Now, on behalf of the staff and management of WLX, Sarah Luna, who's been our timekeeper, Dwayne Wright, who has been handling our board this evening, and Kevin, I'm sorry. Well, that's 2. 3 strikes and I'm out, right? Good thing this show's almost over. Ben Luna's been handling the video. I've been doing the talking, not very well, evidently, but at any rate. We thank our candidates for coming this evening. We thank you folks in the audience. We thank our viewers. And most of all, we thank our sponsors for making this possible. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.